Train Hot Dog episode, I'm not really sure, the podcast where I talk to myself on a train. This episode we're going to be trying to figure out if it's possible to do like noise reduction or through better recording practices, get a better sound quality when recording on a train, specifically on BART. So let's just get right into it. How to record on a train. How to recording a training video, how to record a training session, how to record training for staff. Before I typed in train, it auto-completed how to record on a Mac. Japan's maglev train sets world record and speed record for rail vehicles. Japanese passenger train breaks its own speed record. New train speed record set. Japan's maglev train. Audio recording best practices. Train. Swipe thinks I mean twain. Train staff. Audio narration, recording best practices. There are 7 ways to add audio to your Brain Shark. For only a good night's sleep, best practice train and tool CD. Train to teach certification pathway MECL. DocSoft AV best practices. Simplified guide to forensic audio and video analysis. Nose reduction. Wow. Nose reduction surgery. Nose reduction surgery on a train. Woman has a nose job after drunk stranger on train told her ellipsis how huge it was, and she believes cosmetic surgery helped her land her dream job. Wow. Weightlifting after a rhinoplasty. What's the worst that can happen? Alright, this is not helpful. Noise reduction, train sounds. Help us reduce our new home's train noise problem. That's good. Help me soundproof our new home against trains that run right behind our house. Materials, strategies, tips, all are appreciated. Double glazing on the windows facing the train line would help immensely. Well, okay. What if you're in the train? What if you're on the train? Planting a row of dense hedges along your back fence line. Reduce train noise. Trains are a common nuisance in many communities. What if you're on the train? And solving the problem can feel like an insurmountable challenge, especially if you're on a train. Despite the recent media coverage of train accidents and spills, the most enduring issue is the constant whistling that many that live next to train tracks deal with on a daily basis. Trains sound their whistles, or technically horns, as a safety precaution. The FRA, Federal Railroad Administration, has made it a requirement for trains to sound their whistles between 5 to 20 seconds prior to entering a public highway rail grade crossing. If traveling greater than 60 miles per hour, the engineer will sound the horn at a quarter mile. The train whistle is kept above a minimum level of 90 decibels and below a maximum of 110 decibels. This will typically be well above the next loudest noise in the area, making them clearly audible to all in the vicinity. The train horn is blown in a 2 long, 1 short, 1 long pattern to distinguish it from any other noises the observer may hear. This is actually really interesting, but it's not relevant to my problem. Quiet zones from train noise. Citizens are able to request a quiet zone in the area. In the quiet zone, a no horn restriction can be initiated to remove those pesky horns. Soundproofing a room. Window noise reduction with window inserts. Windows. Indo Windows is the website. Rail and aircraft sound fighter system based to reduce noise in a home near railroad tracks. Audio recording noise cancellation solutions near train tracks. I've done a lot of call center work in the past. Recently I've been offered a position working from home. I would like to accept it, but I live near a large intermodal house. Large intermodal, and my house is about 200 feet from 4 sets of freight train tracks. We get about 100 trains a day, so muting the sound is not an option. I've looked into soundproofing options, but my house is about 100 years old, and the cost to put that much mass into a home office is unrealistically expensive. The two options I'm considering right now are a mid-range desk microphone or a tactical throat microphone. I wonder if I just put the microphone up to my throat tactically, would that work? Here, I'm going to try that right now. Better sound quality now. No, that's science. We're going to be doing it after I finish recording this episode, and we'll find out. If I use a throat mic, does it still need active noise cancellation? Since budget is an issue, let's think outside the box. Have you conquered soundproofing in your workspace? Have you considered soundproofing your workspace? Not the whole room, but imagine a personal sound booth. It can be as simple as a few sheets of egg crate hanging from the ceiling to an elaborate soundproof room, depending on how handy you are. This is not actually how you, what you do with egg crate is you create baffles to prevent audio reflections. That's not gonna reduce sound going in and out of the room. It's to reduce sound reflected back at you from yourself. Train noise. When is the train crew required to sound the horn? Noise reduction plug-in. I'll try that. Plug-in train. Ways to reduce noise in a home near railroad tracks. Photo Ninja tutorial. Adjusting noise reduction. Noise and vibration mitigation for rail transportation systems. Alright. Active noise cancellation project. We just trained the filter with 200. Yeah, thanks. Okay, what if I search for BART instead of train, because BART might be noise reduction BART, because it might be specific. Maybe there's advice specific to BART. BART aims to tame noisy trains. San Francisco Examiner. Fortunately for the riders, BART is going through significant pains to reduce noise levels on its train. So maybe this is gonna just happen by itself. BART trains arrive on time for about 90% of their trips, and new seats reduce the chance of riders having to sit on stain-ridden cloth seats. But passengers have to contend with the screeching, shrieking, and whining noises that accompany a journey on the train system. Fortunately for the riders, BART is going through significant pains to reduce the noise levels on its train system, initiatives that should also benefit residents who live close to the train tracks. Yolanda Ramos, who travels every day on BART between the peninsula and downtown San Francisco, said she's unfortunately come to expect loud noises on her commute. It would definitely improve my experience if it was less loud, Ramos said. Noise levels vary around the system, but on average they range from 70 decibels to 90 decibels, according to Carlton Allen, chief engineer at BART. That is well within the requirements set by the California Occupational Safety and Health Administration, but hearing can suffer at sustained exposure above 90 decibels. Most of the noise emanating from BART's network is a result of corrugations or imperfections, mainly along curved areas on the system's rails. To deal with that issue, BART spends about $1 million a year on rail grinding, a process that smooths out the trackway, according to Allen. But because grinding can reduce the lifespan of a trackway with its wear and tear, the agency is focusing on new tactics to reduce corrugations, Allen said. Those include adjusting the stiffness of its rail pads, reducing friction through lubrication methods, and adding dampers, essentially shock absorbers, that help reduce vibration on the trackway. Allen said ongoing research into the noise abatement measures will further influence what methods the agency will pursue and how to fund them. While BART passengers are exposed to loud noise levels, particularly along open stretches, doubling speeds means doubling the noise. Nearby residents must also deal with the sounds. Allen said the main challenge for the agency is dealing with the increasing amount of citizens who elect to live near train stations in the Bay Area. You know, only so many people can live near the train stations. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same number as it was 20 years ago. Okay, many areas that were sparsely populated in the past have been developed, bringing more people closer to the BART trackways. Alright, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, new train car project. BART.gov. Reduce discretion noise heard by riders and neighbors. BART seeks to reduce train noise. BART Silicon Valley Extension residential noise installation. Noise reducing headphones. What if I put the microphone within a pair of noise reducing headphones? That might do it. What does BART have that other systems don't? Noise. When built, the first general manager of BART, Brian Stokes, called it the swift, virtually noiseless, and vibration-free electric train. Stokes also promised BART to the airport and that every passenger would have a seat. While BART has finally managed to get to the airport some 30 years after promised, the commute crowding makes the seat promise just laughable. In fact, the first BART cars had no provisions for standees, and grab rails had to be added in the first month of service. But back to the virtually noiseless part, we find passengers holding their ears and wincing in pain as the BART train rockets through the Transbay tube. Note that plugging your ears and holding onto a grab rail are mutually exclusive activities for humans, and thus the BART passenger must either find a door to lean against or risk stumbling against the fellow passenger when electing the ear-plugging option. So if big burly guys plug their ears in the tubes, how loud is it? 3 spots in the Transbay tubes achieve an astonishing 95 decibels. One lingering almost 3 minutes. Well, that sucks. He notes that BART standards are far more vigorous than a normal railroad. New BART cars should reduce noise. Phase noise reduction using active biasing by Jeremy Bart Baldwin. That is closer. Blocking noise in the home. Recording, I'm just going back to the basics here. Recording on BART. Recording barter transactions. Recording Bart Simpson. Recording barter transactions QuickBook. Use of video and audio recorders. Oh man, this relates to me. Oh, it's a PDF, fuck that. Meet George and Gracie, the synthesized voices of BART. They've been likened to the sounds of computer HAL from 2001 Space Odyssey, the synthesizer-assisted speech of theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking, and the waiting line announcements at Disneyland's Space Mountain. The synthesized voices that announce train arrivals on BART platforms, nicknamed George and Gracie, are a familiar part of the commuting routine for passengers who often express curiosity about their history and how they work. 8-car Fremont train now boarding platform 2. 6-car train for Richmond in 4 minutes. Play a WAV file of George and Gracie speaking sample announcements. Waveform image of the audio file is pictured at right. It turns out the synthesized voices of George and Gracie are a relatively recent addition in BART's 36-year history of service. Up until the late 90s, the public address system in BART was BART's only means of communicating status information with passengers on platforms. The public address system with human voice announcements was used for major events such as train out of service. It didn't have the capacity to do arrival announcements for every train at every station, even though that kind of information is very convenient for riders. Around the turn of the millennium, a special projects team developed BART's Advanced Passenger Information System, APIS, which acts as a hub for system status, providing a centralized database for information such as train locations, performance data, and messages to passengers. Accessibility issues also drove the development of APIS, which created a way for BART to communicate status information on platforms for hearing and visually impaired riders, and to benefit all riders with more timely and consistent information. Okay, I'm waiting for the part where it explains why, like, it only tells you, like, what trains are coming every 5 minutes, and between there it shows ads for, like, such and such a thing happening at a place that I don't care about, because I don't remember any examples. Yeah, I don't think they're going to talk about that. And they also talk about live announcements made by train operators are part of their routine duties, such as the name of the station at each stop. Train operators' first priority is providing critical information and ensuring passenger safety. But some add a little flair with extra comments. For example, taking on a tour guide persona to note points of interest. Get off at Powell Street for world-famous shops of Union Square. I'm so glad that's never happened to me. I've never met a train operator that does that. Fatal BART shooting not captured by cameras. That's convenient. BART restores full service. Hear an audio recording of fatal BART accident. That sounds amazing. Why don't I listen to that right now? Because I'm an asshole who loves hearing people die. BART Day, releasing your own record, a legal checklist. For artists who are releasing their own record for the first time without the involvement of or assistance of a label, the process can be a little intimidating. It can be easy to miss some key legal details in the process. Here, therefore, is a very basic checklist of issues to be considered when releasing a record. Bear in mind, though, that your own particular circumstances may dictate that you take certain steps that are different from, or in addition to, the various steps mentioned below. Also, it has been necessary to greatly simplify some of the issues discussed below to get to the stuff, okay? Agreement between members of the group, that's probably important. Investors, distribution and promotion strategy. Mechanical licenses, those are the worst. Sampling clearances, those are also the worst. Work for hire agreements. Producer agreement, production credits, liability releases, copyright notices for songs, copyrighting your original material, registering your original ideas with BMI ASCAP, trademark notices, registrations, obtaining a barcode. Oh man, those barcodes. Yeah, I don't know how you obtain them. Registering with SoundScan if you want to scan some sounds. Yeah, none of this is useful information about how to improve recording quality on BART. Did I already search for that? I'll search for that right now just to make sure. How to improve recording quality on BART. Why you should record your lectures and the tools to help you do it. These talk about recording. Oh no, it's by Mary Bart. And this article is by Bart J. Harmon. Bart Good at sweetwater.com. What is Bart Good? I want to know. Oh, it's a guy's name. Meet your sales engineer, Bart Good. Okay, no, thank you. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's just impossible to improve the Train Hot Dogs audio recording quality. So there you have it, folks. It just can't be done. Goodbye and good night to everybody everywhere, and I'll see you next week.